What a lovely, lovely Sunday morning as we wake up to the news of possible human extinction, World War III, the death of the entire planet. That we're involved in, that we started, that we helped exasperate. Well, we've got the best of Britain on the front pages of the newspapers. In the middle of a Gaza genocide, in the middle of World War III, we have the best of Britain. New battle lines. We are, my friends, at war. On this beautiful Sunday morning as the sun rises over England, the little princes laughing, praying underneath, juxtaposed with Britain on a war footing. 15 killed by Israeli fire near the Gaza aid site. We send fighter jets to the Middle East. What does that mean? To the Middle East? To take part in a war. To be part of the genocide. To be part of attacking it. Was Iran and the propaganda from the BBC? Yeah, Iran. It's like they're about to attack us in 45 minutes. They got now track zone. They got poisonous bombs that can. What? I want to stay upbeat on Europe, but it's getting hard as Israel tries to collapse the Iranian state. Risks for Europe are monumental, massive migration, shallow spike in oil, terrorism for a start. What do European leaders do? Applaud, like toddlers seeing a giraffe for the first time. Listen to this, right? Gaza has no internet or mobile service. Israel is using the blackout to target starving civilians. There is a total communications blackout in Gaza. Internet and phone services are completely cut off across the entire territory. Only a small number of people with eSIMs can occasionally get online, but the connection is extremely low and unreliable. Amid a blackout-induced food crisis, thousands sleep outside the Netzarim checkpoint, hoping to reach the front of the line where Israeli forces allow limited access to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid site. If you're not early, you don't eat. At 2:30 a.m. today, GFA quietly posted on Facebook that aid would be cancelled at all of its sites. Most people no way of knowing there was no service to see the update. By morning, Israeli forces shelled the area because Palestinians were in a part of Gaza. The Israeli military have suddenly and unilaterally declared off limits. Dozens were killed or wounded. A GFH mercenary put it plainly in a first-hand account published by Zito. It's very clear that the Israeli military will take any opportunity available to fire, any excuse the military can come up with to say someone is a threat. They'll take it. Today that meant targeting civilians trapped between a food blockade and a blackout. Look at this. It's where one of the Iranian commanders was. 20 children killed, 60 dead. Israeli aggression is an unprovoked attack. This is a serious violation of international law, especially Article 2.4 of the UN Charter, which prohibits the use of force against the territorial integrity of another state without just cause. Military force can only be used if in self-defense. But they don't care. Look at the Guardian. Yeah, there's a real chance of regime change. There's a real chance of everyone blowing the planet up. What does that mean? Regime change. Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. UK moves jets to Middle East as Starmer's to rule out defending. We're all paid. What? We're already part of it. This is on us.
Important. But how do you know? So denying that the top commanders have been killed? Are you denying the top commanders were killed?
Oh, so you mean what you're referring to basically is an attack, an act of aggression, that they suddenly fire missiles at civilian targets at apartment buildings and slaughter people in those apartment buildings, slaughtering whole families. For you, that's targeting. That's a really sophisticated act.
But if I can just ask, have military facilities been hit? Have nuclear facilities been hit?
One of the buildings that has some of these commanders, one or two of these commanders, was a large apartment building where they killed everyone. 60 people, 20 children. That's not important for people like you, but that's important for people like us.
I'm just trying to get the perspective. We're trying to give you airtime so that you can give us the Iranian perspective on this. And we want to know, and I want to understand, Iran's position here. Will you come to the negotiating table now? Donald Trump, after these series of airstrikes and this attack was launched, called on Iran to come back to the negotiating table. As the spokesperson of the regime, or as someone who worked closely with the negotiating team, do you believe they will come to the negotiating table now?
Well, your regime should know, and your news agency or your TV channel should know better. We were at the negotiating table. It was Trump that conspired with Netanyahu to attack Iran. This is how you twist the truth. You shouldn't invite me because you're easily exposed. Iran was negotiating. Initially, Trump had one position, and so did WWIII. And then they flipped and said no enrichment. And then they continued the negotiations. And the night before the attack, Trump said that we don't want war. And then after the attack, he said, we're all for it. And you're saying Iran? Is Iran going to come back to the negotiating table? The audacity. Come on. Show at least a bit of integrity. A bit of integrity will help.
Okay.
Where are we at, though? Because the debate's just going, what? You're ready for World War III. Enjoy the Sunday sunrise, because there's a possibility there may not be many more.